Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to our Operation Freedom platform and a new feature we've been doing of late, Operation Freedom Soundbite, that's based on our Operation Freedom radio show, which airs out of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor in our Freedom Bunker every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. Now, you can stream the show live and free by going to davejanda.com, Sundays, 2 to 5. And hitting the Listen Live button at davejanda.com. It'll connect you right with our stream service. We have great guests, great analysis. It's, obviously I'm biased, the best show on the weekend on any radio station in the country. And a lot of that is attributable to our fantastic guests. Now, we tackle a number of different issues. We just finished up the show today, had incredibly positive response from our listening audience yet again. But in particular, there's a segment and part of a segment I want you to listen to. It's on an issue, and we tackle issues that you're not going to see on other platforms. This is on food insecurity. Now, you might be saying, food insecurity, what are you talking about? Look, government entities are not going to talk about this, especially they didn't talk about it under Obama or Biden But there was a recent study that came out through the USDA, and we referred to this in this interview we did with Dan Brigman, who's the CEO of a fantastic company, Numanna, Numanna.com, storable food, storable water. And look, we're in the midst of a financial reset. And President Trump has told us there is going to be turbulence, which means there could be disruption of supply chains. You need to protect yourself, obviously financially. We've talked about that with our other guests. Best in financial insurance policy, physical gold, physical silver. Stuff you can hold, right? That doesn't have any debt, DEBT, associated with it. But with supply chains breaking, or being a bit disrupted at least, you need to have storable food and storable water. And that's where Numanna comes in. And Dan Brigman, who established the company with his family years ago, was criticized, tormented in some respects, for doing so. Oh, you're based in North America. You're in the United States. You're in the Western Bloc. There are never going to be food shortages or water issues. Think again. You need to protect yourself. And I'm going to play a brief clip from that show with Dan, but in particular, we were talking about food insecurity. So when you hear about food insecurity, what is meant by that? It's defined as experiencing difficulty to meet basic food needs in a span of a year, including the inability to buy enough food, buy balanced meals, or eat regular portion size, as well as skipping meals because, well, you just can't afford it, or the food is not available, which leads to hunger and also the issues about worrying about having enough food. Should this occur in any country, let alone the United States? Absolutely not, but it is. And Dan addresses this. Now, he also mentions that they're doing some discount programs for storable food, storable water because of Bidenomics, the Biden session, right? Recession attributable to Biden. And if you go to contact@Numanna, Numanna.com, and tell them that you're interested in the promotional, the discounts, they will provide you with discounts for your orders. Now, I want to play this portion of the interview with Dan Brigman. It's extremely important. Take a listen. And again, no other platforms are talking about this, and you need to know about it. USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, just recently published a report on food insecurity. Now, food insecurity, that means people not getting enough. It's not that they're eating tainted food. It's people not getting access to food. And here's what it showed in the United States. Their latest report showed that almost 18% of households where children lived were food insecure. 18%, which is up from 17% and change in 2022. Looking at all households, 13.5% were classified as food insecure by the USDA, defined as experiencing difficulty to meet basic food needs in the span of 1 year, including the inability to buy enough food, buy balanced meals, or eat regular portion sizes, as well as skipping meals, experiencing hunger, or worried about having food. That's in the United States. And Dan, I believe that's not an accident. That's not a coincidence. It's not from incompetence. This is exactly what the cult wants. They want people hungry. They want people thirsty. Because if they're hungry and they're thirsty, they lose their ability to think. It's just basic physiology. And if they can't think, they're easier targets for their freedom stripping agenda. Am I off?
We talk about America's founded on the Declaration of Independence. They lose their independence. And people who are listening, and you've seen that number, the number you just quoted, which is a very significant number for America, supposed to be the land of good and plenty. To have a number that high is it's almost sinful. Not almost, it is. But you've seen that number go up significantly over the last 20 years. And so people who are listening now, I've been very, I'm not trying to be, I'll just go ahead and say it, whatever. You can think whatever you want. I've been very accurate what I've told you on food. Now, time's been sometimes a little off, but I've been very accurate in general telling you. I told you what was going to happen to the meat. I told you what was going to happen to the egg. I told you in general about the supply chain. I taught, for some of you, maybe I taught you about the supply chain and the tip of the icebergs at the grocery stores. I'm telling you, from what I see, that number that Dave just quoted is going to continue to rise. And in the middle of trying to thread this needle, Trump's last speech was phenomenal. Even he mentioned that, maybe a little turbulence, so to speak. It's going to get worse before it's going to get better. That's my opinion. That's from everything I see. That's what I'm predicting. I don't want to be a prophet of doom. The reason I'm telling you this is because that's what I've tried to sell, if I'm selling anything. It's just a mindset. Our company offers products that help you to take care of that fear, take care of that problem. And if you're prepared, you don't need the fear. If you got it straight, you got this thing handled, and you got it taken care of, you are now resilient. You are now independent, not dependent. And one of the worst things you could ever want to possibly be is dependent on the government. That's where you don't want to be, because now you're in the middle, like Dave said. You're easy to move one way or another. Well, that's not America, and that's not what our company stands for. We give you good quality. I think the best soul food that are out there. We're the first company to have organic options that we did. We are trailblazer in so many ways. We give you, this isn't a joke. This isn't just, whatever. No, this is real. And it's going to give you independence. And if I'm completely wrong, at the very least, you freeze your food prices and you can eat the food at some point, and so that you make a financial gain that way. It's a no-lose investment. And we have some unbelievable specials. I can't even say how much over the phone or over the radio, because it's so much. We're doing a big special. If you got an email, if you're a customer, you got a specific email. But for your audience, if you send in an email to contact@themana.com and you ask about the special, ask for the coupon, we will send it to you if you really want to have it. If you don't care, whatever, you only got other things. I know you may have other priorities. I'm telling you, you're asking me, Dave, this should be a priority and a mindset to start asking these questions, whether you buy the Mana or don't buy the Mana. Water filters, there's no reason you should be drinking municipal water almost anywhere in the country that you live. And so we have the filters that'll do this. We have the food storage that'll get you through one way or another. It's a no-lose investment. It's something, if you have the means, now you have the means. In the future, who knows what the future looks like. Now you have the means. this is when you take action. That's what our company is about. That's what we stood for.
And Dan, even as Donald Trump threads this needle through these turbulent times, there are going to be supply chain issues. And this is why Numana is so important, from the filtration side, from the water side, from the food side. I'm speaking to you as a doc, as a prevention specialist. I can tell you their products, their food products, their water products, there's no comparable company as far as nutritional value, as far as the purity of the water. Dan, talk about, you have a long-term storable water that I'm not aware of anyone else having. Educate our listeners on that.
This is a big deal. One of the problems with storing water, if any of you have, so you store water, plastic, whatever, even glass. You leave it there for about a year, it starts to turn green because bacteria starts to grow and whatever starts to grow in it. And so every year, I think it's 6 months, whatever, you either have to put some drops of chlorine in it and then change it every 2 years or just get rid of it or whatever. So why is that? It's because there's bacteria. So the holy grail to solve this problem is, can you store water? Can you package water to where there's zero bacteria? Because if there's any bacteria in it, give it a year, 2 years, it'll be green. So we have found, one of my very good friends has been able to do this. And so we have water products, ready to go water, that is 1 liter bottles, non-leaching, military grade packaging, 1 liter size. This is perfect. That will never go bad. We guarantee it for 20 plus years, but really it's indefinitely, because if there's no bacteria that grows, why will it ever go bad? It won't. So you got at least 20, 25 years of this water. It can just sit there. And if you were in North Carolina here recently, you sure need this water. And water filters we have, if you don't want to store, you're not able to store the water, our DuraFlow filters are fantastic. If you have any kind of stream or pond, this is very important. In America, we think that this is important. We're seeing, this isn't like some future. Look, you can name any of 10 events over the last few years where people have needed this very bad. And I don't want, we're offering it, take advantage of it, or don't. But do something.
Welcome back to Operation.
That's right. Do something. It's imperative that you plan ahead. And that's what we try to do at Operation Freedom. Put you ahead of the globalist constructed curve that ends in a brick wall with the shattering of your freedom, your liberty, your health. Don't believe me. Just think about 2019 through the present. With this and this. There is a financial reset at hand. Fact. President Trump has told us, turbulent times ahead. Protect yourself. As Dan says, at a minimum, you get storable food, and it's just rainbows and lollipops. Well, you've locked in your food prices at a lower cost than will be in the future. You can't lose. The only way you lose is not getting ahead of the game. And that's what we do. Our website, davejanda.com. You can stream the show live every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern. Great guests, great analysis. We do 4 to 5 other video format shows every week at davejanda.com on the subscription side, plus with all our archives. We hope you become part of our freedom family, Numana.com. If you contact them, contact at Numana, Numanna.com. Tell them you're interested in the discount coupons. They'll set you up. Until next time, Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail. Thanks for your time today.